Welcome back to another episode of Modded Motors. Today's vlog, I don't know, 5-6 of Vlogmas. Appreciate you guys if you're watching every single day. If you guys aren't watching every single day, make sure you watch every single day because it helps us out significantly. Yes. Today we're going to be talking about exposing Alfa Romeo dealerships. If you guys aren't familiar with some of our past videos, and this is the first time here, some advice that we give is you should always call your local dealer to get your pricing. Yes. Because your local dealer will have, everyone's a little bit different, and the most complaints that I see in the Alfa Romeo groups is that their dealer, has ridiculous prices or they're really far. So I say check your local dealer and check your prices. Yeah. In order for Vlogmas, we said how can we help the Alfa community even more than we already help them? We call dealerships on the East Coast, we call dealerships on the West Coast, and we call Central, just to give you a good range of what like prices go for. And to be honest, I was shook. we're quite disappointed. I'm disappointed in my own Alfa dealers. I'm really disappointed in the West Coast where I'm from. Yeah. Really big disappointment when I called some West Coast dealers. So we do all these installs, we spend a lot of money on our Alfa, and one thing I never really considered was the maintenance, because our dealers here locally are pretty affordable. Yeah. I was kind of sticker shocked at calling some of these dealers, and yeah, like we said, we wanted to do East Coast, West Coast, Central. So if you're in any one of these areas, you guys kind of get a range. And so we're just going to start this video off by saying we'll have the spreadsheet. You can look at the spreadsheet. A lot of people refuse to give us pricing. Oh my god. But there's some that just knew the pricing right off the hand. Some knew even down to the times of how long something takes, and other dealerships just refused, and other dealerships were assholes. Yeah. Plain and simple. But I'll start right now. If you're in the central area, which is like Texas, Alabama, all those different states, right down in the center, you have some of the best pricing with some of the best service. Some. Okay, I don't want to say all of Central's good because you guys were rated average the best. You averaged the best. The next best would be the East Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, my personal favorite, I spoke with somebody from the New York location. His name was Jay. Like, I'm just going to give him a 10 out of 10. And again, Fort Worth has been really kind to us at times. Sometimes they're a-holes. I called Fort Worth today and they were... Scottsdale, Arizona. I didn't get a hold of Scottsdale. We didn't get a hold of Scottsdale. I called Scottsdale, Arizona twice and left voicemails. So again, we will say, just and first and foremost, this isn't a 100% representation of them. Okay, so before we go. Crystal did all this over everybody, and I know I got a spreadsheet. Some people are rude sometimes and say Crystal doesn't do a lot on the videos. So I would like to say she hand called all of these. Every single person. The only people I've called was a follow up to ask some more questions, but Crystal hand called every single person here. I want to say, I don't know if this place is a scam, or I don't know if the person didn't know what she was talking about, but Maine, $85 for an oil change. If you're in Maine, can you confirm that your oil changes are $85? If so, that is the bar. Well, we'll start with here. The lowest pricing we got was Maine at $85 for an oil change. And I don't want to. I just picked whatever Alfa Romeo. Yeah, it wasn't like the best. We didn't go for the best reviews. We didn't go for the worst reviews. We just picked the one we seemed populated, and a few. We picked 5 from West, Central, and East. Make sense? So just 5 random states. So $85 for an oil change. Maine. I don't know if that's true, but that's what the lady told me. I was like, all right, well. The worst and the most expensive. We asked some of you guys what you thought the pricing was. We didn't call Momentum. Somebody said here locally, Momentum, they tried charging them $675 for an oil change. I really hope that's not true because I will sue you myself. Highest oil change is Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington. We're sitting at $355. $350 is absolutely ludicrous. Now, the material for this, if you do this yourself, I want to stress this. I was talking with somebody in our Instagram. Showed me how to reset the light and stuff like that, but it's $60 if you do it yourself. If you're charging $350 when it costs $60 for materials, you're doing highway robbery. I'm really disappointed in Seattle. I'm really disappointed in anybody that's over $200. I understand you can get busy. I understand you're trying to charge your right prices, but if you make this make sense, right? And this is where I come down to it. I bought this car, again, we'll say it one more time, $18,000. But if I picked the highest price, if I did the oil change for $350, the brakes I think at most were like $2,000, something crazy like that. And then like the 20,000 miles was like, I think $1,000 $1,000. In my first year of ownership, I would have been paying almost 18% of the entire value of my car in service alone. That's why people aren't buying these cars, and that's why people have a bad perception of these cars. I understand this is a high-end car. If this is a QV, I can understand an oil change for $500. This is a little four-cylinder 2.0. This is supposed to be affordable. And you can tell I'm very passionate about it because I am really irritated with some dealerships. We're understandable, right? There's some dealerships like New York, they didn't really give us pricing. The way that he went about it, though, he knew the times. He said if I told him exactly what I was looking for, he would give me the quote over the phone. He gave me the spark plugs, he gave me the oil, he gave me the air filter, cabin filter. He knew down to the times that it took to do those services. I understand that you can't give me a quote if you don't have those. On the reverse end, if you're just an asshole and being lazy, that's a completely different story. And unfortunately, we found that a lot of people were just lazy and a lot of dealerships don't want to help. I will tell you, I've never received that type of service from going to a Toyota or Lexus. You go to Lexus, what is it, Sewell? I don't know how to say it. But if you go to that dealership, I promise you, you will not receive that type of service when going to that dealership. If you want to charge $350 for a service, you have to provide $350 worth of service.
Yeah.
And you have to provide $200 worth of service. And these dealerships aren't doing that, and that's why I think, and personally in my opinion, in the United States, this is why the brand's failing. You can't charge me 18% of the car's entire value in the first year of service and provide shit service just overall. It's preposterous.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what the cost is for brakes. I know that I paid $800 here locally for my brakes to be done. But we got crazy prices up to $2,000, about $1,600, $1,700, $2,000,
$1,800.
Who was the most expensive for brakes?
Oh man, the most expensive. So Charlotte, I think it's North Carolina. So $350 for oil change and $2,400 for brakes.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. So what we also found out is a lot of dealerships that are Alfa Romeo have not even seen a lot of Alfa Romeos.
Oh my god.
What
did I call? Wisconsin. Someone from Wisconsin.
Which is fair, it's Wisconsin.
Yeah, I called a dealership in Wisconsin. He told me he's only seen 2 Alfa Romeo Giulias at $50K, nothing more. And that's the only 2 that he's worked on. So he can't even quote me.
He didn't even know what to quote. He didn't even know what to quote. So we did 20,000 mile service. Okay, we did 40,000 mile service, and we did 70,000 mile service. So the reason I did those service intervals, again, there could be more expensive ones or so forth. I did that because for me that would be the most popular when I'm seeing used cars, are somewhere around 30 to somewhere around 50. So I did those intervals because I also remember those were most expensive intervals for myself.
Some people didn't even know that there was services for mileage. They were doing annually, so they were giving quotes yearly, like at 2 years you do this, at 3 years you do this, not 20, 40, 70.
Yeah, I want to make that very clear. There's some dealerships, which I don't know, again, you guys probably know a little bit more than I do, but it doesn't make sense. If my car's at 50,000 miles, they won't do the service because it's not at the years, if that makes sense. Which, if I'm putting miles on my car and I need the service done, I would assume that it's done. And I'll tell you that Fort Worth refused to do a transmission fluid change because they say it never required one, even though I was willing to pay for it. So there's some dealerships that are just, I'll tell you what, people shit on Kia, and Kia is a shitty brand, but I can tell you that their people are trained rigorously, and they go through trainings every year. And the reason I know that is because I know somebody that specifically works at a Kia dealership. I don't know how often these people get trained, but they're so misinformed through so many different dealerships. It's absolutely mind-blowing. The ones that actually gave us a price, I'll at least say, for the people that did give us a price, they at least knew the price points. The people that couldn't give me a price,
yeah, I
just can't fathom. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Really, it doesn't. If you guys live in California,
oh my god, I don't know how you guys are doing it.
I feel really bad for you guys.
Yeah.
And you know,
I was talking to Ricky last night. Like, you know, we mod our cars and we spend so much money on car parts that we didn't even take into, I mean, I'm sure you already said this, but like maintenance. Yeah. Because our dealerships are affordable. Yeah, are affordable. So I assume that everywhere else is charging the same thing or about the same. But I didn't know you guys were charging $300 plus. That's crazy.
So if you're gonna buy one of these cars, you should be at least a little bit savvy with doing your own maintenance, because at this point, if you're not in the centralized area, it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be really rough.
And I will say this, I get it. They're individually owned. I get it. There's, you know, different owners have different price points. They're trying to make their money. I understand all of that. My problem is at the $350 price point for multiple dealers, $275, $350, $172, $285, $355. If you're gonna charge these prices, I expect you to know the times that it's gonna take to do this.
From what the guy in New York said.
I expect that type of service if you're gonna charge that type of price point. I just expect you to have a little bit of class to you and a little bit of higher quality of service.
I expect champagne when I'm waiting for my
right. If you're gonna charge those price points, again,
yeah,
I expect when I call for you not to have a damn attitude when I'm talking to you.
Oh my goodness.
That's bare minimum. I can go to a damn CarMax and get better service than I got at this dealership in California.
Yeah.
If somebody from Alfa Romeo is watching this, let me help you out here. Your advertising sucks. You guys don't know how to advertise these cars at all. I love this car. I'm a huge enthusiast for this brand, and I want this brand to survive. This is a 500 horsepower sedan in the QV. The 2.0 is 280 horsepower, a fuel efficient 50/50 weight distribution sedan. Sell it as such.
Yeah.
Put a Mustang commercial out there. Put something else that's going to sell to the American public.
What was that commercial?
A BMW, the M5, I think, or where it does the longest, they hold the world record.
Dope.
Sell the car like it's meant to be sold.
Yeah.
Because Jesus. Secondly, your dealership, your network sucks. It's trash.
If you're not in the States, I want you guys to comment down below how much an oil change costs in your
point.
So, side note, if you're not on our Instagram, go follow our Instagram.
Yeah.
But someone on Instagram asked if there was a dealership in Alaska, and there's not.
There's not a dealership.
I looked it up.
There's not a dealership in Alaska. Hawaii, by the way, did not call us back, and I called them multiple. And the dealerships, who didn't call? Hold on.
So Plano here didn't call us back.
Plano didn't
Hawaii, San Francisco, I called twice. They didn't call me back. Scottsdale, Arizona. They did text me though, but I'm not gonna text all of that. Oregon didn't call me back, and that's it.
Greensboro is closing down like permanently.
I had to call 2 Alfa Romeo dealerships in North Carolina because one of them's closing down.
I hope you guys found value out of this. The point wasn't to shit on Alfa Romeo. Best advice we can give you if you're gonna buy one of these cars once more is to make sure that you know how to do the services yourself, or you find somebody that's not an Alfa Romeo dealership that can do these for you. Please call ahead, get some price quotes before you buy one of these cars in any location that you're at. That's it, right?
Just do price check.
Price check.
Yeah, this was kind of like
it was a
rough video for us.
It was an eye-opener to me. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, I just can't fathom, if I bought this car for 18 grand, I had to pay 18% of my entire value of my vehicle in the first year if I lived in California. Is like, doesn't make any logical sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
I was appalled. I was genuinely
Ricky
appalled.
said, how much?
You know what? I'll make it even better for you. Down below in the description, it will be a video on how to change your oil. I'll link it. It's not mine, but I'll link it.
Yeah.
I'll actually even link where to buy the oil to make it simpler for you. And I don't know if it'll be this week or during Vlogmas or soon. We will do our own oil change for you guys, and we'll do our own brakes for you guys to show you how simplistic it is. Because I don't think you should have to pay these prices. Once manufacturers start selling direct to consumer, which I think is the route that we'll eventually go, I think that all these dealerships will lose. They're going out of business, and I think that they deserve to go out of business. To be honest with you.